The high school is just a big building, and there's a lot of lights left on when people are not in the building. We weren't aware of how we were consuming our energy. So if you want to call waste not knowing how you consumed it, yes, we had waste. When Artis came here and evaluated the schools, they looked at my building as a whole, but they also looked at my building based on a consumption, based on what is your occupancy, how many units have you got running. Here are some strategies that you could save energy by shutting stuff off.
When Steve and his team first started using the technology, they immediately were able to determine a number of areas where there were some savings opportunities. The auditorium is a good example, given that it's such a large room and it could be filled with a couple hundred students or 0 people whatsoever. So Steve quickly saw that this is an area where when it was unoccupied, a lot of energy was being used and therefore wasted. So by deploying CO2 sensors as well as variable frequency drives and some controls and certain equipment in that room, it became much more of a smart, intelligent building that was more occupancy driven versus just on all of the time.
We lowered our demand considerably trying to do it on our own. There was an improvement, but not like the improvement we got from when we put the Artis system in. And you can actually see the spikes, and you could monitor the consumption, and you could see how much energy you're consuming at that point.
Steve Carroll has done a tremendous job in getting all the schools really, really more energy efficient. We're spending taxpayer money. This is not our money to spend. So we're just stewards of that money. And as leaders, we need to take the position that we're going to actually take the lead in this and do everything we can to save those dollars.
The Artis system helps us use the Honeywell Allerton system, helping me schedule the unit startups. Because if we started all the units at the same time, our demand peak would be off the charts. That technology is awesome. That technology is self-monitoring, self-aware of my building's consumption, and corrects it on its own. I don't have to do it. It does it on its own. I've got an environment to answer to. I've got students to answer to. There's a lot of people want to be happy in this deal. And when somebody takes it over and does a really good job, then I'm quite happy to.